Now, it might look like a luxury villa or a five-star resort, but it's not. In fact, it's one of Bang Saray's best-kept secrets. This is the Karma recording studio, and we're going to show you a few surprises. Karma sound studios have been called a creative utopia, a haven hidden away near a beach in Thailand.
Well, we know it's me to you, and I'd sing for you.
The beach is a nearby Bang Saray, with its lovely fishing village, white sandy shores and tropical views, located south of the resort city of Pattaya.
Well, leave a town of fear. Your enemies are hiding near. Mountains are...
Karma is the creation of music industry executive Chris Craker, who decided to create a spiritual home for artists and bands to create their very best work away from the real world. After 2 decades as a record producer at the top of the international music industry, including a senior VP role at Sony BMG, he became frustrated with the way the music business was heading and decided to forge his own path. At Karma, artists are free from the distractions of real life and the constraints of time. Some bands stay here for months, making the most of the resort-like surrounds and the state-of-the-art facilities. Well, Chris, fantastic studios.
Welcome.
Yeah. And this is where you get to go to work.
It is. A lot of people are very confused about whether it's a resort or whether it is a workplace, but it's the combination of the two. And artists come here for anything between a week and maybe 6 weeks to make a record or shoot videos, and they enjoy the vibe of it being relaxing and a bit resort style. And you'd think that they might just blaze around, but actually the opposite is true. They're totally inspired to work more, and so they're very, very productive when they're here.
I can imagine that they're very relaxed too.
It's a very safe environment, so we've had some pretty big name stars here as well, but it's very private. Security is very tight, and so people are very safe in this environment and able to do their best creative work.
Yeah, we're in Bang Saray.
I know.
Pattaya.
It's the most extraordinary concept of having an international studio in a fishing village in Thailand, isn't it? But
yeah, I think a lot of people wouldn't know, would they, that you're tucked away?
No,
yeah.
The word's got round the village that there's something extraordinary happening, but nobody knows quite what. Yeah, and it's best that way.
Now, you said you've had some stars here. Can you drop any names?
Well, we opened up early days about 5 years ago with Placebo here. They made the Battle of the Sun, some recordings here. After that we've had Bullet for My Valentine.
You turn me off at the push of a button.
Jamiroquai came, Jimmy Page has been down, Jessie J dropped in. We've currently got the Libertines and Pete Doherty here.
Wow. So he's tucked away in here somewhere, is he?
Yes.
Oh wow, okay. So can I search around looking for him?
You may find him later on.
Oh, brilliant.
But that was just announced very recently that he and Carl Barat from the Libertines have just got back together again, and Carl was here last week writing for the new album.
Artists do indeed journey here from throughout the world. Bastion Baker is a Swiss pop star who was recently here on his second tour of Thailand and the region. I caught up with him at Pattaya's Hard Rock Cafe. Well, we've got Bastion Baker here. Bastion, welcome back to Thailand.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Yeah, so it's your second trip here, isn't it?
It's my second trip here. I was here last November, and I've been here also 4 years ago, but on holidays, so it's my second time for music, and I'm really happy to be back.
Now, obviously you're very well known in Europe, but Asia's sort of new ground for you, isn't it? And it's an area where you're starting to get a following.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we started this project 4 years ago in Europe, so we've been working hard, and obviously we've had a little success, which is it's amazing, of course. And now we're starting more and more to play in Asia. We started with Japan first of all, then we're in South Korea, and now Thailand. So it's obviously a place I love to play, and everything's amazing. The way people treat us, the whole vibe, the whole atmosphere is something I like. So definitely a place in the world where I want to play more and more.
After a night on stage, Bastion Baker was in the studio at Karma. Now we've just filmed with a couple of young musicians in the studio, new talent. Myra's only about 17, I think, and Bastion's 23.
20s, yeah.
And so are you representing them and recording with them?
I'm representing Myra and working with her closely on her debut album. And Bastion is managed by Riverman, who are based in London and in Bangkok. They also manage Placebo, and the two of them have got together and formed a bit of a creative partnership as well, which we're going to witness tonight as well.
And this was the end result.
I wish that I could drive the speed of light, knowing that you're worth the fight. I wish.
Well, it's a fantastic studio here, isn't it?
Yes, it's incredible. I love it here. It's beautiful. And it's great, so.
You've recorded here before?
I've recorded my album here before. So yeah, this
you.
is familiar to me. So yeah.
What a nice spot to record your album. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes,
You got a garden and a pool outside.
Yeah.
So when you want to chill out.
So I just jump in the pool like as soon as I'm done, I just jump in with my clothes on.
Oh,
Lucky
fantastic.
you.
No, I'm kidding.
No, this is crazy. This place is amazing. It's my very first time here, and I have to say it's almost embarrassing how amazing it is. I wish I could be here all the time.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to record and also to be inspired. A lot of artists come here to be inspired, write songs. So there's a lot of writing sessions that happen here. So yeah, it's very inspiring.
You've only just met recently, I believe. Is that right?
Well, we met actually a long time ago, but we didn't even.
Oh, I want to hear it then.
You want to hear the story?
Yeah,
okay, it might be a little confusing. Shall I
Yes,
say?
please,
Okay, so.
please.
When I first met them, it was in Los Angeles 2 months ago, I think, and her mom was really excited, and she started telling me, hey, I got a weird story to tell you. So I was a little shocked. I was like, okay, who are those guys? Whatever. So 7 years ago, they traveled to Switzerland. I'm from Switzerland, and they had dinner in a restaurant. And guess what? My father has a restaurant. And so they went to have dinner in my father's restaurant. And guess what? My father told them, hey, my son plays music. He's got a show tomorrow. You should go check this out. And guess what? They came to the show.
Yes, we did.
So they have pictures of me 7 years ago in a pink shirt playing some songs on the lakeshore in Switzerland. And when we found out that we actually met 7 years ago, it was something crazy. We were talking about talking about karma, and not only karma sessions, karma. The whole thing.
It's true. Well, sometimes that's the way it is, isn't it? It's, you never know what's going to turn out in life, yeah?
Yeah, and that's great. And now we've been writing this song together, and that was a couple of days ago, and I had those sessions, so we thought it'd be great if Myra can join and perform this song for the very first time ever.
Now, Myra, she's a great little singer, yeah?
She certainly is. As many people will know, she won Thailand's Got Talent a couple of years ago and then got through very close to the finals of the Fox TV Rising Star in America. And now she's splitting her time between Beverly Hills and Bangkok, and we're working closely on her debut album here.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
exciting,
it's very exciting, yeah.
Now, have you got any other exciting albums coming up that you're recording here?
Well, we're working on lots of projects actually. Next week we've got a Japanese band in, then there's a Russian band in, and so continually we have lots of different artists, and obviously at the moment we were also hosting the Libertines with Pete Doherty, and he's writing his new record, which will be coming out in the last quarter of 2015.
Wow. Now you've had cameras in here today too, besides ours.
We have, yes.
There's something interesting going on there.
Yes, we're just starting 2 series for broadcast. They'll both be on internet platforms and on terrestrial TV. One is called Live at Karma, and that is basically concerts that happen in the garden here. And last week we hosted the first of those with a big pop star from Thailand called Singto Nomchok. And so we erect a full festival-style stage and light show, and he performs in front of 300-400 people here in the garden. And the second series is called the Karma Sessions, which is what we're doing today with Bastion Baker and Myra. And basically that's live in the studio, a little bit like Live at Abbey Road. People might have seen that series.
Yeah,
it's a little bit like that.
So is that for the performers to get comfortable as well, or is it partly to mix with your video sessions?
The concept really is that the artist is under studio conditions and makes a really high quality live record in front of a small invited VIP audience. We'll normally have between 20 and 30 or 40 people in there. And so they actually have to deliver a performance, which is very different from actually making a record where they can do things 10, 20 times and then we edit the best takes together. So this is a bit like edgy, and we like to capture that on video as well, and it creates a very, very good atmosphere.
Now I feel like I'm in the presence of stardom here myself right now, because you've got potential awards and glory coming.
That's true, yes.
Yeah.
I just worked on a very big movie in Hollywood called Interstellar, which Christopher Nolan directed.
Fantastic movie, by the way.
Yeah, I loved the film. It was a joy to work on, with Michael Caine and Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway. And the great composer Hans Zimmer wrote the score, and we've just been nominated for an Oscar for the soundtrack.
We got this far, farther than any human in history.
Oh, not far enough. Make it count.
Where's the mountains?
Those aren't mountains.
First Oscar nomination?
First time for me with an Oscar, yeah. I've had quite a few Grammy nominations, but first time for an Oscar, yeah.
It must be really thrilling too to work on a film like that as well.
And that particular film was very intense, and I think most people know about Christopher Nolan's very, very interesting approach to making film. So following on from Inception, this is based in space, and every last detail was attended to, and the music integrated with the whole project at every turn, and he was so involved in the score creation as well.
I was going to ask you that, so
yeah,
the director
so I'm as thrilled for him about the soundtrack as I am for Hans Zimmer, really, because Chris was very, very involved in the whole process. Yeah.
I mean, when you watch a movie, particularly a movie like that, it's really the music that makes it, doesn't it? Creates the mood.
Yeah, if you and any of your viewers want to Google that, some people have put clips of Star Wars up without the soundtrack, and it changes the whole
just
atmosphere.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and so
No.
the John Williams score on that just lifts the whole thing, and it's the same with any movie with Hans Zimmer in. Yeah.
Wow. Now, any other films?
Well, we're just working on another animation right now, which we're recording in London in March, called The Little Prince, which is the famous French fairy tale. And that's an animation featuring Jeff Bridges and Ricky Gervais and a whole bunch of other stars doing the voices. And then after that, we're looking at Kung Fu Panda 3.
Wow, now that's going to be great
A lot of fun,
too.
yeah, original cast. Yeah.
Do you enjoy that? Obviously, it's sort of branching off in a different direction, but it must be fun.
I'm very lucky. I've been involved in all kinds of music, from classical to jazz to rock, and we do thrash metal here and everything in between. But now moving into the soundtracks, it's a very comfortable world for me, actually. I love it, yeah.
And you started out in the music business. You're a musician
Yeah,
yourself.
I was a clarinetist in the London Symphony Orchestra originally, and so that was my background as a performer. But after about 8 years, I was always fascinated with making records, and moved over behind the other side of glass as a producer.
Yeah, great. Well, it sounds like you're having loads of fun here.
We are, and just as you started off, it is a cross between having fun and working. It's brilliant.
From the sounds of music to the magic of the movies, there's no doubt Chris Craker and his team have discovered the true meaning of good karma.